Thanks for being here. How was Ed?
Cheerful.
Yeah? Was he cheerful?
Cheerful.
That must be the weather.
Well, I
Just
asked him
kidding.
why he was inside, and he's like, yeah, I'm just getting soft.
Yeah.
They'd never be inside normally.
I was going to say, it's 35-ish, isn't it?
Scrimmage weather.
Yeah, right? Oh.
Go ahead with an opening statement if you will, Clint. Just about the game itself, the pink game, and then playing the fourth game here at the CHI Health Center.
Well, pink out's always special, and I think it's even more special this year because we're doing it kind of in tandem with the men, and what the men have done with their pink out is envied really throughout college basketball. So for us to kind of be paired with them this weekend, I think is momentous, and to have our opponent be UCONN is even more special. And so I know we're going to have a lot of people in the building. I know our players are super excited for the opportunity to play on a special day against a great opponent, and you know, see kind of where we are. I think for us it's a measuring stick game. You know, we've won 7 in a row, but this will be the best opponent we've played since UCLA, and maybe even including UCLA. So, but I think we're excited, and the crowd will be great, and it's a great opportunity.
It just came to me as you said it, but this is the 15th year they've done the pink out. You know, in this arena. I know you've been around
Yeah.
the game for a bit.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this is one of like college basketball's? I mean, I know it's newer, 15 years, but one of the neater traditions in the game because of just what that moment feels like when it's happening.
Yeah, I mean, none of these guys were old enough to remember Jim Valvano and kind of how, or Kay Yao, and how this all started. And, you know, cancer and sports weren't necessarily mixed. I mean, unless you saw Brian's song, which I did in the, you know, 80s. But I just think that what sport has done to grab hold of the fight against cancer and make an impact is dramatic. And I think, you know, whether you're older like me or younger like them, it ought to have an impact on all of us, and you know, also get us to understand how lucky we are to get to do what we get to do, and you know, so everybody's playing for something tomorrow that's even greater than what they normally play for.
So the task at hand.
Yeah.
What's UConn look like on film the last 2 games that's maybe seem to be at a different level than even where they were firing at before?
Well, they've probably solidified their rotation more. So AZ Fudd's back. They've figured out what kind of their post rotation looks like, and you know, this is the deepest team we've played in a few years. I mean, it's the most healthy team he's had. And you know, just reading his quotes from earlier in the year about playing some of, you know, his non-Paige Beckers players, and to get them in a position where they're a better team later in the year, I think he's probably pretty excited that they've stayed healthy and that their rotation looks better, deeper. And so what they can do is they can sustain intensity defensively, probably at a greater rate than they could early in the year, and even offensively. When you play UConn, it's not just they make you uncomfortable on defense. They play so fast offensively in terms of how hard they cut, you know, how quickly you have to communicate, and so many things that they do off the ball on offense, that the pace of the game demands probably a depth that they haven't had the last couple of years. And so the last couple of years, you'd see that throughout the game, but not necessarily for the length of time that you see it this year, or at least especially recently, now that they're healthy and have their rotation more figured out.
Glenn was just telling us the last time you guys played in this building, the attendance number was 416.
Ooh.
To potentially blow a single game attendance record out of the water and be the encore for this doubleheader, what is this opportunity going to be like, not just for your players, but also for you?
Yeah, I think it's a program game. I mean, this is for this team, and I think it reflects what this group has accomplished over the last 4 years, how they've elevated our program. Because I don't think we'd be here with that kind of crowd if this group hadn't accomplished what they had and achieved at the level that they have. And so I'm thankful for, it's also our alumni weekend. So I think about the people who have helped build this program, our administrators, my assistant coaches who have impacted, us to get to the point where we can play, the biggest name in college basketball in this building, and we're going to have 10,000-ish people. I think that's a major statement. Not just it's for this team, for this program, for the people who have been involved in this program and helped elevate it, whether it's our donors and ticket holders too. I told them last week, bring your friends, and I think it's a game for this year's team, and hopefully it's a game for the program.
How special is it for this group in particular, the seniors? You've had them all of these years, to be the one that does that caps off a doubleheader, a pink out doubleheader at CHI.
Yeah, I think this has been a year of firsts, kind of a season of firsts. It was our first overseas trip. We went to, Spain and Greece, and I feel like it was in some ways a reward for this group. And then, I don't like talking about the UCLA game, but we got invited out to San Francisco to play, in the Chase Center against UCLA, the #1 team in the country, and we're just on a different. I've said we're seated at a different place at the table than we've ever been, and hopefully tomorrow kind of not caps because we have a lot of season left, but I think it's on top of all the things that this group has accomplished. They've been rewarded with opportunities that people before them haven't been, and I think it's great because I think they deserve that.
You'll scoot the chair a little closer to the table.
Yeah, you feel like you're. Yeah, halfway through that UCLA game, I wish I hadn't got invited to that one, but tomorrow I think we're going to be excited about being at that table, and hopefully the food will be good.
3 years ago, you punched them first.
Yeah.
Last 2 years, they've punched you first. I don't know. How do you figure out the sweet spot of staying in the fight, landing and giving again?
Yeah, I think we're going to. We haven't had a lot of time to prep. I think that's a big thing, but they haven't either. And I think, we've put in a couple easy mechanisms to maybe handle their pressure, because I think where they're so good is they can make a 4-0 run become a 10-0 run. And we've communicated that several times already to the team, is like you're going to have bad possessions on offense and defense. You can't have 3 in a row. You can't turn the ball over twice in a row and come down and play faster the next possession. You have to figure, and so part of that's on the players, part of that's on the staff. And so we're going to have a couple mechanisms where we're going to hopefully be able to slow the game down. We have, the thing that we have is with Kiani and Molly and Lauren, we have 3 ball handling guards who we can kind of play through any of those 3. And hopefully that negates some of the pressure that they put on you. So you have to guard them, right? But you also have to run good offense, because when you don't run good offense and they get out in transition off turnovers, like I said, then those 4-0 runs become 10-0 runs. Then your players look up at the scoreboard, and then they look at all the people here, and they're like, oh, we've been here before. So I think it's on our players, but it's also on our staff to kind of calm them down. And I'm going to drink less caffeine in the morning, so I'm more sedated.
Are you excited about this, from a career arc perspective? I know you're.
Yeah.
You're at the tail end of it, but you're kind of at the tail end of a long, great career, right?
Gosh, end would be good, but tail end. Can we just go with end instead of tail end?
Yeah, fair enough.
The very beginning of the tail.
What's this mean to you to be, let's say, to have this stage to kind of coach on? I guess across from probably the greatest coach in your game's history.
Yeah, I think it's, I've thought about that. The first time you coach against him, you think about that, and probably even in the last couple of days, because I do think, like you said, that I'm not going to do this forever.
Right.
And, I just think about all the bus rides that we took in the Missouri Valley, and and to get to play tomorrow in front of 10,000 people against, like you said, the greatest sport, or the greatest coach this sport has ever seen up to now. It's a great opportunity, and I want to embrace it. I want to feel like it's, you know, that you're in the game, that you have that opportunity. So I'll have my wife give me a pep talk tonight.
Is that a pre-game routine?
No, it's usually a post game. No, it's usually a post game, but no, I think it's good. I'm excited. I think you know, if you don't embrace these opportunities, what would you embrace?
Right.
So, yeah.
What do you think that pep talk will look like?
From my wife? She'll probably tell me to be kind to the players, and tell me how special this group is. Because I think sometimes, even though I know that, you know, because I've been around them for 4.5 years, I think sometimes you take, it's like, you know, it's like a relation. It's like my marriage with her. It's like sometimes you're around somebody enough, you take them for granted. I mean, not that Glenn would do that, but like, you know, and the people who are the most special in your life, you don't always tell them as much as you should how special they are. So hopefully that's the message she has for me, is just appreciate how, you know, how Lauren and Morgan and Jamie and Mal and Molly have you know, what they've done for this program.